Welcome to this first webinar with Arratech. My name is Hans Berg, and I'm going to present to you together with Ola Andersson, our CTO. So with that, without further ado, let's kick it off. I just want to talk a little bit about the company Arratech. We're based in Stockholm, Sweden. We're a privately held, limited company. Our mission is to become the global market leader in Peppol and e-delivery infrastructure services. We want to help software vendors, we want to help service providers, and we want to help governments that want to be enabled for Peppol and CTC. I want to talk about the drivers for mandatory e-invoicing from authorities' point of view. Firstly, they want to close the tax gap and VAT gap. In the European Union alone, VAT makes up about 27% of tax revenues. So the underreporting has believed to be about 89 billion euros in 2022. They also want to prevent fraud. Monitoring e-invoicing flows will give tax authorities almost real-time VAT collection possibilities. A third reason is they want to harmonize VAT reporting across EU countries to make it easier for businesses that operate in several countries and do cross-border trade. Lastly, but not least, countries do not want to be laggards. Countries without e-invoicing and e-reporting mandates risk to become evasion hubs for bad actors. The Peppol network is a leading e-invoicing infrastructure. In fact, it is the fastest growing e-invoicing network in the world. It grows with approximately 3 to 5% a month. The Peppol network connects organizations globally in a secure way for exchanging electronic business documents, such as orders and invoices, catalogs, and other business documents. It is decentralized by design. Each participant on the network, corner 1 and corner 4, which are the sender and the receiver on the network, they can keep their own system while communicating securely through access points, which are corner 2 and corner 3. Each participant connects to the network through their own access point provider. There are currently 25 countries with Peppol authorities, and recent additions are France, Slovakia, Nigeria, and United Arab Emirates. Why should everyone not develop their own access point and SMP? Well, it is technically complex to do it. It may look easy at a first glance, but once you dive into it, you will see that it is actually, in fact, complex. There are lots of regulatory changes and updates. If you want to go to market fast, it will take time for you if you want to develop the access point and SMP software yourself. And keep in mind that once you go into live operation, that will become also something you need to spend a lot of time on. Maintenance is another thing. You need to keep your infrastructure secure. Once you scale and get lots of transactions, you also have to find out how do you best set up your infrastructure for your customer so that it processes documents in the fastest way possible. So scaling issues will arise. I just want to give you a quick glance on the regulatory updates that are coming soon. So in the United Arab Emirates, all businesses must use an accredited service provider. And this kicks in on January 1st on 2027 for large businesses. So this covers both e-invoicing as well as e-reporting. In France, all businesses has to work with a PA. It's formerly known as PDP. And it is mandatory for every business in France to use an accredited PA from September 1st, 2026. I want to talk a little bit about our platform, the Arratech Connect platform. So it offers you Peppol Access Point and Peppol SMP as a service. And we have developed it with an API-first architecture in mind. So the API powers everything from sending, receiving, monitoring, validate outbound documents, inbound documents, managing your receivers on the network, which are also called participants. It is scalable, it's future-proof, it can handle large transaction volumes. Our goal is to provide access to the Peppol network as well as other e-delivery networks, such as DBNA in the United States and others. With Arratech, you can both outsource the access point in SMP and own it. So you can get your own certified white labeled access point and SMP through us. We also have a shared access point and SMP option available for you that don't see the necessity of becoming a member of OpenPeppol, but still have to be connected to the network. So it provides you with indirect Peppol access through Arratech's access point and through Arratech's SMP. Arratech Connect is your point of entry to our infrastructure. Along with the API, we also offer a web-based user interface, which simplifies onboarding. I want to talk about some of the benefits of using Arratech. We promise that the platform will always remain compliant with the latest regulations and OpenPeppol requirements. Peppol has recently published new specifications for security that will kick in 2026. Our team is currently working to secure our platform to make sure that we're aligned with those requirements. There are also updates to the SMP service that will kick in 4 months from now. We're working on that as well. The platform is super easy to onboard yourself on. It's essentially a self-onboarding procedure. So you can get going in minutes. The platform also scales beautifully. You can both set up infrastructure anywhere in the world, and it also scales from a transaction point of view. So when you grow, the platform grows with you. We are ISO 27001 and 22301 certified. The 22301 certification is for business continuity, which is required in, for instance, United Arab Emirates for service providers that want to be accredited there. The platform also offers multi-network support, such as DBNA in the United States, Ceph e-delivery, and other network types that are similar to Peppol. We're also preparing the platform to support CTC and VIDA when that kicks in Europe. Here are some of the key features that I really want to highlight. So it's completely self-onboarding. So you as a service provider, or if you are a software vendor who want direct or indirect Peppol access, you can onboard yourself onto the platform. You can spin up your own access point on the fly, and you can start transacting on Peppol within minutes. That's all from me. I now want to hand over to my colleague, CTO Ola Andersson, who will talk more about how Arratech Connect can help you.
Yes. The demo I will show you is the Arratech Connect portal, which is the user interface towards the Connect platform. And I'm going to show you how to create and add a participant to the Peppol network, and then how to send a transaction to that participant. I will also send it from the same participant so we can see the flow of both sending and receiving in the same sequence. So what you see here, I already have a user in the Arratech solution, and I'm logged into the portal within my organization, which in this case is called OLA Test Organization 1. The view you see now is the settings view for that organization. So you can see the name of the organization, some contact and identifier data. You can also see that this organization is in shared mode, which means that it can use Arratech's access point as well as its own access points. So let's start with going to the participants. I already have a participant here, but let's create a new one. So we choose to add a participant. We start with name. We give it the Peppol identifier for this participant. So in this case, we just make up one. Typically, you use an identifier tied to your organization. Like that. We select the access point on which this participant will receive business documents. So let's do the Arratech test access point in this case. And we're going to publish this participant in our test SMP. And the profile is Peppol AS4. Then we need to select some document types for this participant, the documents he can receive. So let's select let's see here, an invoice type, and go down the invoice list here. Let's take this one. Then comes the business data for the participant, which is not mandatory, but it's good for lookup purposes, for example. So let's add the name of this participant that they want to have published on the network. So let's take that one, select the country. We can take Sweden since we are here. We can have a legal identifier for this organization. More data, we don't need that. The address of the, don't need that. We can add one contact. Add myself. I can be the support contact for this participant. And then we register it to the network. Right, it's successfully registered. We can see it here in our list of participants. We can see all the data. We can take this participant identifier, copy it, and we can go to the left here and to the lookup service that we have, which allows you to look up all participants in the global Peppol network. So we can now see that we can find this one. So we paste in this value, and since this one was created in a test SMP, we make sure we search in the test network. And there we see our workshop participant data. So the lookup works. So then we can try to send a transaction to this participant. So this is a list of transactions we already sent. I already did some tests here, but let's send a new transaction. So we select the access point from where to send the transaction, which in this case we will use the test access point since we will be in the test network. And since this organization is in shared mode, it can use Arratech's access points, which is what I do here. And now here I need to select a file. So now I selected my standard business document, which is in XML format. So I have it here, and then we send this off, and then the sending goes off, and then we see here that the sending has been initiated successfully, and we can close this window. We can refresh, or we can start by going to the received transactions and see if it, since I send it to myself, let's see if we already have received it. Yes, so now we are in the received transactions view, and you see the latest one, the incoming one. It's the one that we just sent. As you can see, the sender and the receiver is the same identity, since we sent it from ourselves to ourselves. Down to the right here, there's a download button, and here you can download this document, in this case, this invoice. We can also open this transaction item and see all the details from it. The document identifier and service provider used for sending and receiving and so forth. There's also an artifacts tab up to the right here. So if we open the detailed artifacts for these transactions, we also here have the received document, which is the invoice. We have the validation result. In case there was something wrong in this invoice or some warnings, we can see it here. We can download it and we can watch it. We can click this eye here, and we can see that, for example, for the validation, the status is okay. You can see down here, and some other data. If there would have been an error, we would have had that information here too. And some other technical details also. But that's pretty much it there. And if we go back to the sent transactions, we can also see that the same transaction is in the sent list. So in the case that you send it to someone else, as you typically do, you don't send it to yourself, to someone else, you would have this transaction in your outgoing sent transactions list, but not in the received transactions, of course. So therefore, you have the similar information in this view with the validation result and the other details. So that's one of the use cases with the Arratech Connect solution, to register participants, look them up, send and receive documents. So that's all I plan to show today. So thank you, everyone.